faith. Make sure that your faith is strong in the Lord, and make sure your foundations are built upon the rock instead of building on sinking sand. So when the storms, winds, and rain come, it won't be washed or blown away, or blown down and away. And make sure your heart is right with God. God is not looking for unwilling vessels. He is looking for willing vessels willing to be used by God, no matter what, no matter how much people like family friends tell you not to not to do it due to many reasons. Only do what God asked you to do. I was told that it's not logical, such as it's not logical for God to tell you to do these things, blah blah blah. God didn't tell you to do this or that. Well, He did. I was told to do a lot of things. I found faith, changed, and here's another good one. I'm not going to mention names, but there's someone that a friend of ours, our pastor friend, who has a mystical ones of the spirit. One time she was highly critical of me, and one time she was critical of someone that I know in my family. And she lost total faith in God. She lost everything. But those blows that you get from people, it should not knock you off it should not knock you down. It is this simply. If you build on the rock, when everything put against I've been ridiculed by this lady, but she challenged my faith in many ways. She challenged what I stood on, my foundations, and I still stood the test. Yeah, I was upset. Yes, did I fought? Yes, but I prayed about that because I don't want to have aught against anybody. Because you don't want to hold anybody captive. Because when you have aught against somebody because they did something nasty, what you're doing, if by not forgiving them, letting go of the aught, you're holding them captive to your pain that they caused you, and you don't want to do that. That's not who God is. He wants us as believers, and those of you that are new to Christianity that don't know much about this, we don't hear this much. You need to let go of the aught, let go of unforgiveness. It's not easy, but truthfully, God quotes in His word that we must forgive ourselves, because the Father God will not forgive us if we don't forgive ourselves, because He can't forgive them if we're not wanting to forgive ourselves, because all we're doing is we're misusing grace and His mercy. It's not used as a free pass, like you'll walk through a car wash and everything's clean. No, it doesn't work that way. It's not how it works. It's an effort. It's something that we have to do. So I've been challenged in many areas since I was little about my faith in God and everything. Don't let the enemy knock you off like that. If someone says something highly critical or says something about you thinking private, like say if you have a private time with God, they mention that. Do not let that be the fallaway, because you're taking a blow that you're allowing to get the best of you. Because do you understand there's Christians across the world that are not in this country and other countries that face worse persecution than we are, and we're more afraid of offending someone or telling someone the dang truth. But all we do is we kiss butt. And you know what? And like Marcus Rogers, a good guy, mentioned about ending. It's time for the Gumbeer Christian to end. It's true. We gotta learn to preach the truth, no matter how much people get offended by us. That is what we do. Jesus offended the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He offended the public, the religious folk. He offended them all the time with the truth, because they thought they knew better than him. But no, he knew better than they did, because he's the Son of God. When he died and rose again, where did he sit? When he went to heaven, he's been sitting on the right hand of God. Positioned in the right hand of God. And listen, if you're afraid of a simple family, toxic family, abusive family, being offended or being abused for your faith, stick with it. So what if your punishments could get worse? That's part of Christianity. God will never leave you alone. I've been abused before. I've been through it. I've been physically, mentally, verbally, and all the above. But I'm not gonna, I don't dwell on that. I've been working on getting the help I need to get rid of this, so I can to get rid of the unprocessed stuff, which is where the hurts come in. Because what's to restore is that we have unprocessed stuff that we have not been able to you know, address because we don't know how. Another thing is this: if you allow things to fester in your life, like some people I know that have been running from life. Okay, you get out of abusive home, and you try to make a life. Do you understand? If you don't deal with the issues that you left from, the hurts, the wounds, and all that garbage, you're gonna end up carrying that with you, and you're gonna feel worse about yourself because those wounds are always open until you start healing them by dealing with them. But anyways, let me move on, and let's see, where did we leave off? Okay. Oh, but I did it anyway. I chose God over family due to many reasons that are not fully easy to explain due to certain circumstances in my life. How to be, and here's another part. I added this part, which is how to be there for someone who's bound depression, etc. Check up on them to see how they're doing, even if they don't reply or call back. Just call or text or even message them on Facebook, even send them a text. Helps them let them know that you care about them. Also, ask if they could use some prayer or encouragement, even if, and if they tell that they don't want prayer, pray. Pray for them anyways. And if they don't want it, do it in your own time. Pray for them. If they don't want encouragement, text it or message them so they know that you care. Also, if you know that they are having a hard time with life and they mention they don't want to live, be there, help them navigate through it with you by their side in person. Or if you're not able, if you're able, or be there with them on the phone by text, FaceTime, etc. People are dealing with, who are dealing with things, people, most people want someone who is going to listen to whatever they are going through. Like, for example, for me, I just needed someone who was going to listen to me without being criticized for anything like how I felt, etc. When I felt alone, when I felt lost, when I lost the strength to move on. If you don't know what it feels like to lose the strength to move on, is imagine you are in a dark place, like a dark room or cage with no doors or windows, just the walls, with no way out, where you try to find a way and there isn't a way out. So you just give up. And also imagine that everyone is against you and refuse to help break you out of that cage or room. Basically, leave you to rot for 7 to 8 years straight. That is what it felt like for me with them, ignoring your calls or cries for help. And also, if you notice that they have seemed to have given up with life, try to help them realize that life is worth living and that they are not a mistake. Because there are people that there's other people that in this world that have been told by parents or anyone, oh, what you weren't even born, you're a mistake, blah, blah, blah. You're not a mistake. You're a blessing. You're worthwhile. You're a human just like us. We're all humans. We need to stand with each other. When times get not that like this new society nowadays, or when things get tough, we walk away. And some people even live that before this generation, this era, this life that we live in called society. We need to be there when things get hard. We don't back down. Like, I'm gonna share this because I've experienced this by watching my mom and sister. When things get hard in a marriage, you don't go asking for prayer for the other person if you're not willing to pray yourself for yourself to deal with your issues. And here's another thing: in a marriage, when things get tough, don't keep one foot out the door. Keep both feet in. Fight it. And if things still don't work, try to go to marriage counseling. And if their significant others want to go, you go yourself. You start going on your own self for fighting for that love for your significant other or your spouse. And you know what happens? They'll start seeing change going. And sometimes some people may not like it, but they see that they might be interested and go, "Why don't you come with me?" and realize this is a way forward. There is a way out of it, and a marriage is not all about jumping in and out of who the heck you want. I'm gonna put that flat out. If you're in it to win it, stick with it. If you have no intentions of sticking with it, get out of the marriage. Divorce that person so they don't just suffer years on end. And that's my last piece. And may God bless you, and may God bless you and give you eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart to receive the teaching and anything that you need to get out of it. Let God speak to you, speak to Him. And don't, oh, here's another thing. I'm going to point this out as Christians. Please don't ever do this. Don't have someone else pray for you when you're not willing to do the prayer first. Because that works a lot easier. Over the course of my life as a Christian, majority of at least 89% of the time, when I prayed just myself, just prayed to the Lord, majority of that was gone. 89% of that time, it was easily done with a bit of prayer. Sometimes you do require more prayer, but don't ask someone else to pray when you're not willing to pray first. Because God's very clear that we are to seek His kingdom first. We are to seek Him first. You don't go seek someone else. He wants us to seek Him first. So if you are able to talk with her, seek God first with prayer. And then you can take it to somebody else to pray. Or if you have a prayer partner, have them pray together. You pray and they pray. But do not expect someone just all hand your prayer life over them and say, okay, you're going to pray this all the time when you're not wanting to do the prayer yourself, praying yourself, because that's important. So have a blessed day until we meet again.